There is a good old-fashioned range war afoot in the hills east of Merritt. The battle is between a small fishing resort and one of BC's biggest cattle ranches. The fishing resort is at Paradise Lake, which is to the east of Merritt and to the south of Douglas Lake. The road to Paradise Lake, though, runs through land owned by the Douglas Lake Cattle Company. And as Ian Gill explains, that is where the trouble began.
It's holiday season, fishing season, up in the high lake country of the interior plateau. This is Paradise Lake, but this season there are no strangers in Paradise. No one can get here because of this. So, when did they put this gate here?
On June the 24th, they locked it at 12 noon. They must have constructed it sometime the day before or something, but it was locked at 12 o'clock on June the 24th.
And so your access to your resort is closed off by this?
Completely.
Douglas Lake Cattle Company put this gate up 3 weeks ago because Rick McGowan picked a fight with the ranch boss.
He claims we owe him an access fee to cross his lands. Our contention is the road is public.
No one's told me that it's a public road, other than Mr. McGowan.
Joe Gardner has demanded a $200 annual access fee from McGowan, who has refused to pay up.
He chose not to do it. In fact, he informed me that he was going to continue to cross our private land whether I liked it or not, and that I wasn't going to stop him from that, and went on to threaten me a bit even. So I put the gate up.
At first blush, this appears to be pretty much a private spat between a couple of neighbours who've somehow managed to not get along. But there is a much wider public issue here.
There's thousands of square miles of Crown public land that you cannot get to now, plus there's 4 recreational campsites which are locked off as well.
Indeed, fishermen can no longer take the road into Bob's Lake and other Forest Service campsites like this on Crown land.
It does concern the hunters and the fishermen and the outdoors people in the area, in fact the whole province, that we firmly believe that under certain circumstances that public access should be there.
We recognize it's Crown land back there, and people should be able to access it easier, but there really is nothing that the Forest Service can do about having that road access opened.
And nothing the Highways Department intends to do.
Well, I consider the road to be private as it goes through the Douglas Lake Cattle Company property. I'm not aware of any expenditures, any public expenditures that would make it public under highways designation.
So, back at Douglas Lake, Joe Gardner is sticking to his guns.
Well, we're not intending to be mean. I'm not intending to restrict public access to public lands. If they want public access to the public lands and there doesn't exist any other way than through Douglas Lake lands, then that's the public's problem. The public purse should pay for that access. There should be a public road to the public land. It should be put in at somebody's expense other than Douglas Lake's.
In fact, there is a road to the south of Paradise Lake that goes right to the Okanagan Connector, but it's fenced off, and there are no immediate plans to link it to the highway. So for now, the only way Rick McGowan and his son Cody can get to their private resort is through a moose gate, something McGowan's customers can't do. Customers like Langley resident Don Stewart.
Well, we're a church group that organize a father-son's fishing trip every year, and this is going to be our 4th year, and Paradise Lake phoned us and said that there's been a dispute with the road, that we can't get through, and so we'd have to change our plans.
McGowan's family has owned the resort for more than 25 years. He says on principle he's not going to be the one to pay to get the gate open, even though it's cost him the season.
Apparently, from talking to different ministries, nothing is going to happen this year. We are out of business for this year.
And no one seems to derive much joy from that, except maybe the fish. For the CBC Evening News, I'm Ian Gill at Paradise Lake.
Well, the waiting is almost over for Bill Clinton. Tonight in New York, he will finally